Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to a special Game 7 NBA Finals edition of Wanna Bet. We hope your betting weekend has treated you well. Um, we are doing pretty well right now in MLB. Beltway Ben's on an MLB and WNBA heater. Beltway Ben had a monster night. Was it Friday night on the Discord? I'm sorry, or right here. We're both crushing it on our Discord. You can go to our Twitter feeds and see how to sign up for that. A lot of our plays in real time, or frankly, all of my plays in real time are going there. And we want to cash for you the last time we can in this NBA season. Real quick before we get to the NBA, I've sprinkled on Brendan Aronson to score a goal tonight for the U.S. You can get that around plus 190. That does intrigue me. And we're also on the Dominican Republic money line. But this is not a soccer show. This will be a hoop show. Our last chance bet to bet the NBA for a long, long time. We know that not everybody sees these streams all the time, so we make these plays throughout the week. So anything that you
You there?
yeah. I don't know what the heck's been
Lost,
going on tonight.
lost you. All right. But yeah, I do have a few plays that I like here today that we haven't gotten to yet before. And I gave out one, but I'm going to give out another that I don't have on today's list either. That's going to be Pascal Siakam over 19.5 points. Jason probably could have read those words out of my mouth. I mean, that's just where I've been with this series. I think he's the guy. I think Tyrese Halliburton gave it all he had with the injury. And again, like he was jumping around on the sideline, so maybe he is fine. But I'm going with Siakam. I think he's the big time player. I think he's the guy that is going to have to get going, and I think he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Last game, he finished short, 16 points. But if that game's close, I'm pretty confident he goes to the free throw line at least 4 more times, and he's also more aggressive, right? He wasn't looking to score really down the stretch, and Carlisle still had the backups in or the starters in the fourth quarter with a few backups sprinkled in there. But still, I think Siakam has a big game tonight, 19.5 at minus 130. I think we need 18 points to cash my series long prop for him. So I will be rooting for Siakam here pretty big time tonight. But the other play that I already got to earlier in the week, the Thunder on the money line and SGA 30-plus points. It's a play that I've kind of tinkered around with throughout the whole series, whether that be 32-plus points from SGA or 30-plus. This game, I guess because the Pacers handled business big time in game 6. We got pretty good odds. It was minus 120. This morning I saw it at minus 118, so should be somewhere around there. But if the Thunder are going to win it, this guy is going to win finals MVP. He's the regular season MVP. We've seen him do this in so many games all year, 30-plus points. You have to think, regardless of the outcome, SGA is going to come out ready to go with that chip on his shoulder. And I understand Carlisle changed up the defense in game 6, and Thunder didn't know what hit them, right? Dagnall didn't know how to adjust. They were kind of pushing up on SGA with a double team, which they hadn't done all series. So it was pretty shocking to see. I think they're going to be ready to adjust whatever the way the Pacers play them. And SGA can get downhill however they want to guard him, right? If they want to rush him a little bit as he crosses half court, he knows how to split it and get to the basket. He's a big-time player. He's doing this. I think he's going to go for 30-plus regardless, but I do think the Thunder win. And again, I got that at minus 120, but as of this morning, you could have got it at minus 118. Those are my two. How about you?
Yeah, the first things I jumped on when these lines populated right after game 6, I continue to drill down on the first half of these games in OKC in the playoffs. And we grabbed OKC minus 4.5 at minus 118. That's probably moved a little bit, but I still don't mind bringing that figure down a little bit and paying the cost just to be safe. And similarly, we took the first half total down to 103.5. OKC throughout the playoffs is outscoring teams at home in the first half 62-47. They have a 30.8 net rating at home in the first half, which is absolutely ridiculous. Indiana on the road, first half minus 4.8 net rating. Yeah. Anyway, I like OKC first half minus 4.5. And I still like the total over 103.5. And hopefully our internet doesn't, or my internet doesn't screw up again. All right, Beltway Ben, what's your first play of the night?
Yeah, first down, we will go to a same game parlay, which I've done in a lot of these games, right? It's been a way I've gone, but I like Chet 7+ boards. I've gone 6 in a lot of games, and I'm bumping it up to 7 here. Siakam 15+ points, and the Thunder on the money line at plus 102. Again, plus 102. So the other parlays I gave out were a little bit. I think they were minus 110, but plus 102 I like here. Chet's over this in just 3 of 6 games this series, but the 3 are in their last 4 games. He only played 24 minutes in Game 6. So of his last 4 games, the one that he did go under, he only played 24 minutes. As I just mentioned, when Jason was gone, we didn't see their starters the whole fourth quarter last game, which that's pretty telling. So I think Chet's going to be playing a ton of minutes here. We've seen him get criticized a little bit for his play. I do think he bounces back here. He's aggressive on the glass. I think he has a fine game scoring. I also like Siakam 15+ points, which I explained at the beginning of the show, and the Thunder on the money line. And Siakam, by the way, even if he doesn't go over his regular points, 15+ points in every game this series, Game 7, got to imagine he's going to be at his best. And I just don't see, like I said when Jason was gone, I don't see OKC losing this series.
Yeah, if OKC loses the series, it's going to certainly have a really strong NBA season for me. Ending on a down note, first down for me, I'm going SGA over 1.5 3-pointers. They are enticing you to do it, and they got me. He attempted 1 3 in the last game. He only played 31 minutes, so he should be fresh. He's got to score for them to win. They have not had a consistent Robin to his Batman all series long. So maybe Batman just needs to be even more Batman. And if a lot of people out there who are pretty sharp think he's going over 30 tonight, because he always goes over 30 at home, I think he comes out shooting the 3 ball a little bit as well. Throughout the playoffs, he's been attempting 4 or more at home for the most part. I think he's going to force them to try to respect that part of his game. And it's not an uncommon sight at all for him to hit one. As a team, they shoot 41% to the Thunder from 3 in the first half of home games. It's just 26% on the road in the first half. I think he leans into that. All right, second down, Ben.
Yeah, second down, and I'm going to stick with prop here. And it's one that I'm going back to from the last road game for the Pacers. Aaron Nesmith over 14.5 points and rebounds. He's over this in 4 of 6 games this series and 10 of 11 road games in the playoffs, which is pretty crazy. He likes this situation compared to others. I've stayed away from Halliburton. Now with the injury, we're seeing like the numbers low, and everybody wanted to hammer it in Game 6, and he had a good game. But I do think Nesmith is the guard to give OKC issues. Guards have been good on the glass against OKC, as is Nesmith. And he's taken 23 pointers in 3 road games this series and knocked down 12. That's the difference for this prop. He's going to grab probably 4 to 5 boards, but if he can knock down 3 to 4 threes for us, you'll feel good. He's one of those jailbreak players who he's always aggressive running after the basketball. He'll run through a wall for you. He should be on the court as long as he stays out of foul trouble. So I like Aaron Nesmith over his points and rebounds of 14.5.
Second down for me, I'm going back to Lou Dort. This has been at 8.5 or higher most of the series. I'm grabbing it at 7.5 here. If you've watched the series, you know any given game, he might make 4 threes and go over this easy. And then there's some games where he's too passive, but this is a Game 7. There's no time to be passive now. He has their highest 3-point attempt frequency. When he's on the court, he shoots the 3 more than anybody else on the Thunder in this playoff series. He's averaging 3 for 7 from threes at home in the playoffs. He's averaging 9 points per game in the finals. He's averaging 10 points per game at home for the playoffs. He's shooting around 58% from 3 in this final series, and he's over this total in 9 of his last 12 at home. We've seen him make threes very early in these games and then sometimes not shoot again. But as I mentioned, I don't know who their real number 2 scorer is, and their season is on the line. Maybe their legacy is on the line. I can't see this being one of those games like some of the games in Indiana where Lou Dort only takes a couple of threes. All right, Ben, third down.
Yeah, third down. I'm going to a team prop here, and I'm going to go with OKC Thunder over 9.5 3-pointers made at minus 115. You look at home this series, 13 for 32.7 on average, a 39.8 percentage from beyond the arc. And you look at them on the road, they're 7 for 22.7, 30.9% from beyond the arc. They're shooting the 3 way more at home. They're getting a lot more open looks, and they've been a lot better at home. And then you look at overall in the playoffs, their last 9 home playoff games, they're over this in 7. We're going to need them to knock down open 3-pointers tonight, especially at home with the crowd running. In transition is where they do a lot of their damage in those types of plays. Get a big steal. Caruso drives and kicks out. Lou Dort knocks us 1 or 2 down. That is how a lot of these things go for OKC at home. So especially when they go on those runs, right? We've seen them go on runs where they knock down 4+ three-pointers in a row. They're on a 12-0 run and the game's changed. So I think we're going to see that a little bit today. And I like them to go over 9.5 3-pointers made at -115.
I am going to go to the Thunder for the game here and play them to win this ball game by 5 points or more at -160. I'm making this a little less than a full 2-possession game if you consider 2, 3, 6 points to be the maximum sort of for 2 possessions, fouls aside. This is an OKC team that has been one team at home in the playoffs, almost unbeatable, and another on the road where they've proven to be quite beatable and they barely sort of tread water. When they win at home, they usually win big, but this is a game 7. Perhaps it is a little more low scoring than I'm projecting, so I'm bringing the number down a little bit. But their 2 home wins in this series by 11 and 16 points. Against Minnesota at home, they won by 30, 15, and 26 points. Against Denver at home, they won by 32, 7, 43, and then lost 1 by 2. And obviously they lost by 1 in game 1 of the finals. The first round, they won at home by 19 and 51. Indiana, plus minus on the road is a -0.5 point. And again, as I told you, the Thunder are winning on average by 21 points a game in the postseason. I don't think it's going to be a total blowout, but I do think that first half will hold, Ben. And if they're able to build up the kind of 15-point leads that they have in the first half, with the crowd behind them, being able to turn over Indiana, taking care of the ball better at home than they do on the road, that makes me pretty comfortable in them taking this thing by 4.5, by covering that 4.5 point spread there. Anything else that you want to get off your chest here, by the way, Ben, before we prepare for this basketball game?
I will say the Pacers have a chance to prove me wrong for the whole series. I mean, the one game that I was on them, though, they did win. Well, I wasn't on them, but I thought they had a shot. They did win. But just kind of, we're going to be to MLB and PLL and WNBA for a long time. It's going to be very upsetting that we can't be doing NBA until October. It's tough for us. But we still will kill whatever we do. We'll be successful in those areas. And again, we'll be back for NBA in October, but sooner than later, we'll have college football, we'll have NFL, we'll have college basketball, which we know how we are on that. So it's unfortunate to see the NBA go, but it's still pretty exciting.
Yeah, we got a great week of shows ahead. Eric Casillas will join us as always on Monday. Again, check out the super Discord we have going with EK. Wednesday, my friend Devin Caney, who's been a part of the BetMGM network. She's done handicapping shows with me on BetMGM and Twitch and YouTube. She now does sidelines for Eagles and Phillies. And she used to do sidelines on PLL. So she'll be a part of our PLL Wednesday. We'll talk some lax with her. We'll handicap some of those games. And we'll get her thoughts on the Phillies as a play for the rest of the season. On Friday, Gab Goody will join us, who is a Cleveland super fan and handicapper for FanDuel. And we'll see who else we get lined up.
We do have a question. Somebody on our YouTube stream asked, where do we lean on the game total?
I mean, you know where I am. I'm over in the first half. That's the trend, been the prevailing trend for OKC home playoff games throughout, including in the finals. So the numbers drop so much for me that, like, if you made me think game, I'd be inclined to go over there as well. Historically, game 7s, a lot of them are played under 200 points, but also basketball's changed a lot in the last 5 years, let alone the last 10 or 15. So how much of that is just attributable to, the rise of the 3-pointer, games being played at higher pace? I'll be interested to see how they officiate this game. Is this the one where SGA gets to the line a ton? I don't know. I did not touch the game total over the 48 minutes. But again, first half, I'm riding those trends.
Yeah, I didn't touch it either. I do lean to the under 215.5, but didn't play it. It's just a lean for me with this being game 7 and the difference in OKC defensively on the road compared to at home. But again, I'm not touching the total. I'm staying away from it. It's just that's the lean.